It's cooking time. I'm cooking meals for pirates on the Sea of Thieves in exchange for their hard-earned loot with the goal of becoming a pirate legend. And I had no idea that the second leg of my journey was going to be filled with plenty of unusual moments, from third-partying an hourglass fight to being asked to bodyguard another pirate's ship. But before I get to any of that, let me take you to where today's story begins. After I caught some fish at Snake Isle, I came across this duo sloop that had Reaper's hourglass up, meaning a ship could appear out of the water to fight them at any moment. I explained to them what I was doing, and they said something that was very interesting to me.
If you friend us, we can go get you a bunch of money, like
Okay.
250k an hour.
With that kind of income, I'd become a pirate legend in no time. So we settled on a plan. We'd ally so we could see each other's locations.
Baby Bobby, are you doing like a video or something?
You call me Baby Bobby?
Baby Bobby.
Baby
Is that your
Bobby,
name?
I love it. That's not my name at all, but I appreciate it. And while they went to drop their hourglass, I'd head to Wanderer's Refuge to cook up some fish for them. Then we'd meet back up and make me a pirate legend by sundown. I was feeling great about this plan. On the way over to Wanderers, I had a pleasant interaction passing by this grade 1 Athena sloop, headed on their way to the nearby Fort of Fortune.
Oh, hey there, bud.
Ahoy!
What's up?
Not much, you just sailing on by?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, I'll catch you later. Have fun.
All right, later there, bud.
What a pleasant dude. While this fish gets cooking, I know a lot of folks watched episode 1 and asked why I was spending time cooking at campfires on islands instead of stovetops on pirates' ships. The answer? I'm kind of a sucker for a good side quest, and while my main journey was to become pirate legend through cooking, I also want to cook at least one meal at every one of the over 60 campfires in Sea of Thieves by the time I'm pirate legend. For obvious reasons, the campfires are pretty much never used, but to me, there's nothing more piratey than cooking a fish in a pan over a campfire. Also, look at how beautiful these shots are. Therefore, every meal you see cooked in this series will be cooked at a campfire. After cooking up a nice set of fish for my duo sloop pals, I got this notification pop up, meaning they had abandoned me. I was disappointed, but lucky for me, I had just made friends with another sloop on the server that I knew was at the Fort of Fortune. Ahoy! Oh, okay. Oof, this was obviously not the sloop I thought it was. In fact, I could see now, just beyond the Fort of Fortune, was the sloop I was looking for. Alright then. When I came back from the ferry, these pirates had me in a tough spot that I needed to get out of fast.
Oh, hey there.
How's it going? I thought your ship was them, and then they kicked my ass and it made me really sad.
Oh, who we murdering?
Hold on, I'm coming over, give me a sec. I'll explain myself in a second, but we gotta win this. My ship's just gonna go. Good for them though, taking down that ship with no one on it. Eventually, my buddy went to go board the other ship and left me to keep his ship up. The shipwreck we were passing had other plans for me though. Oh boy. Oh no, oh no. Are you there? I was just teleported through your ship.
Oh,
Oh,
nice,
boy.
nice, nice. They're both dead.
Okay, your ship's gonna sink though. I was just about to repair and I got TP'd away.
All right, I'll go back to it.
With me now in the water, I tried my hand at PvP with the duo sloop, and it did not quite go my way. Because my ship had sunk, I respawned back at Wanderer's Refuge. I headed back to the Fort of Fortune, expecting a fight, only to see the enemy ship beginning to sink just as I arrived. It turns out, after sinking both my ship and my buddies, they had returned to the fort, where my pal was waiting for them with a keg. And just like that, the fort was no longer theirs. With no more ships to fight, this gave me a chance to explain myself. I explained what I was doing, and he had this very generous offer. But,
yeah, dude, you can have all the loot.
That's right. He said in exchange for the fish, he was willing to give me all of the loot from the Fort of Fortune. We just had to finish it. So I made the fish trade, and we got right to work, crushing our way through the remainder of the fort without any problems. While moving the loot, I began to think. Being a new, fresh pirate, something major I was still missing was my own ship. Up to this point, I'd been using generic sloops, but with this Fort of Fortune loot now about to be sold, I would hopefully garner enough gold to buy my very own sloop, making selling that much easier. As the benefactor of my future sloop, I tasked the captain of the Flying Squirrel with a very important honor. I want you to think about it. Let me know. Before we part ways, give me a boat, a ship name idea.
Yeah, I would say Meals on Wheels, but there's no wheels.
There are no wheels. Meals on Sails doesn't have the same ring to it either.
Yeah.
And so by the time we were done selling, he brought this name to me.
I got a name. It's not great, but it's something.
Okay, what do you got?
I got Fish and Chips.
Fish and Ships, like SHIPS?
Yeah.
That's actually great. I think it's brilliant. Fish and Ships it was. And so, it was now time to get Fish and Ships created and out on its inaugural journey. And while the Pirate Lord begins to hype up my new ship, let me take a brief moment to hype up my channel to you. If you're enjoying this journey so far and can't wait to see where it goes, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm still working on this grind in real time, so even I have no idea how this is all gonna end. Hopefully I'll make it. With the Pirate's Lord's blessings, Fish and Ships was off. I first headed to Devil's Ridge, where I caught and sizzled up some pondies. Once I cooked them real nice, I made my way north where I found a grade 5 Order of Souls sloop at Galleon's Grave. While one pirate was AFK in the back of their ship, the other pirate was willing to hear my pitch. But so I have some fresh fish on me. I wasn't sure if you were interested in, you know, if I give you some of my freshly cooked fish, if you'd be interested in giving me, if you have any loot you can give me, or if not, maybe I can hang around, and if there's any loot that we encounter that you would want to give me, you could give me some. I could tell he really wanted to help me out. You want to see the fish first before you make a decision? Whoa, Mongo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a two-hander. And the two-hander was all he needed to see. He was in like Flynn.
Is it already cooked?
There you go. Oh yeah, it's already cooked. Yeah, cooked that bad boy myself. And while his ship only had a single skull in it now, he already had a task for me that provided a way for me to help out.
Just kind of want to protect the ship here.
Do you want me to be like your ship's bodyguard? Am I understanding that correctly? To make sure it's safe?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, okay. I take that role pretty seriously. That's right, he wanted me to be their ship's bodyguard, and my job was going to start immediately, because my redcoat pirate friend had froze and disappeared while trying to raise an alliance flag with me. And the AFK pirate that was in the back of the ship, he also disappeared, leaving me alone to look over their entire ship. I knew I could do this job perfectly though. After just a couple of minutes, luckily, the red-coated pirate returned and their ship was still safe. While he put up the alliance flag, I reassured him of the job I did.
Yeah.
Just so you know, when you disappeared, I was making sure that ship was safe and protected.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
I wanted him to immediately see my value. Now that we were allied, he went to sell his skull, but because he had disconnected, he had to sell the skull at Order of Souls. And strangely, he ran right past the Order of Souls. At first, I thought he was just inspecting these bones. Then I realized it'd be weird for him to be inspecting these bones so closely. He must have disconnected again, meaning his ship was vulnerable. I ran back to protect it, and it wasn't too long until the unthinkable happened. I did my best to defend the ship, taking a shot and even attempting to bail water, not realizing my bucket was already full of water. But unfortunately, I had failed at my task of being the ship's bodyguard. I assumed the threat was going to be incoming ships, but little did I think the real threat would come from inside of the house. I took the ship's flag and brought it to the last known site of the ship's captain, which was now marked with the single unsold skull sitting on the ground. In most circumstances, I would have sold these items, but because I wasn't explicitly given either of these items, I had to leave them here. Some say the skull and grade 5 flag can be found at Galleon's grave to this day. Having just made 0 progress with my last interaction, I was hoping to come up big with this next one, which is why I was excited to come across 2 dueling hourglass sloops. My plan was simple. Come into the fight, quickly team up with the Athena ship to take out the Reaper, then they'd be so appreciative that I helped them with a win that they'd take my cooked fish and go grind 15 gold hoarder vaults with me until I was level 15 gold hoarders. The plan was foolproof. I've come to help you. Team Athena forever. Also, I think I'm gonna crash into you. Alright, so my plan went a little south by me ramming into the ship, and also by there being no one on the ship. I hoped they'd be fine. I assumed the pirate was on the enemy ship, likely decimating some hand-to-hand combat. But I had to go check on my ship, because my ship also took holes. So I went to my ship, and by the time I got there, it was practically underwater. Also underwater was the Athena sloop, which was now nowhere in sight, meaning the Reaper had definitively won the battle due to my mistakes. Oops. Upon returning to the fixed up fish and ships, I sailed over to the victorious sloop that was now working away at the Ashen Lord event. Oh, I just helped you win that hourglass fight. And after explaining myself to him, and hearing myself explain myself to him, I'm becoming pirate legend by cooking for other pirates.
Uh-huh.
So I have, hold on, I'm gonna mute you because I just can't focus. He had accepted the fish and we agreed to ally. While I had a feeling he wasn't going to want to part with the majority of his loot, allying with other ships in this process was going to be key in helping me get reputation. So even if I'm not getting the full amount of gold and reputation from loot pirates aren't giving me, at least I'd be getting something for the meals I cooked them. Another sloop rolled up as well, which resulted in a beautiful opportunity to cook at Mermaid's Hideaway. I ended up walking away with only 3 pieces of loot, but by the time all 3 of us sold the loot we had gotten, my levels had a significant bump. This was a big second leg for me. Getting my very own sloop, fish and ships, experiencing some hits and misses, and truly being put to work for every piece of loot I was given, proved that cooking to Pirate Legend was not going to be easy. But no one said it was going to be.